Thank you for joining. Today I wanted to analyze MANTA on the Binance chart. So I did go over this previously, just really quick on the last post. I believe that was on the Polygon video, technical analysis, the post right before this one. And yeah, not much has changed. Bitcoin did sell off a little bit, as I'll show you. So this initial dump right here, which was a 2% dump for Bitcoin, basically ricocheted through the rest of the market. And when we look at MANTA USDT, we can see that it had a significant impact on that price as well, right? So that price dropped about 9% down to a key pivot right here. So this was the high from the initial launch. It was resistance, broken through, back tested, failed, but price did manage to reclaim that resistance as support before moving higher. So after forming a lower high, price did manage to come back down to retest this pivot low right here. Now, if we do zoom in, I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and see if that was a sweep of the lows. No, so price did not actually sweep those lows. So there is still some liquidity below those lows, meaning if we do get another sell-off, price could come down to these levels to grab the liquidity before moving higher, right? Now it doesn't have to, obviously. Price can just bounce from here like it's doing now and continue higher. So on the previous video, I mapped out this kind of price action, which I had in mind, coming down, testing this support level before moving higher, right? So it kind of did that, right? It came back down, tested the support, and closed above it, and is now moving a little bit higher. Now, as we can see, a new hourly candle has just been printed, or is printing, I should say. So when it comes to MANTA, we're just going to keep this very straightforward, right? So right now it did break out of this resistance. Like I said, it is now testing this level as support. It has officially reclaimed this level of support and is moving higher. So the next level to really keep in mind, it would be this high right here, right? Go ahead and mark that as the range high, which would be about 13% away. Now, when I pull the fib from the last highs to the lows, you can see the golden pocket is lining up right at this support resistance zone right there. You can also see the 382 is also acting as resistance. Clearly price tapped it, almost tapped it, and is now rejecting. So that is clear resistance, and obviously that's support too as well, right? So support now turned into resistance. So we do need to reclaim this level first before we can see continuation to the upside. And if we do get that continuation, you are looking at a 13% increase from these levels. Now let's go ahead and pull some fibs. I believe I did pull some fibs before. So let's go ahead and see where price is currently reacting from. All right, so we have the value area high right about here. And this is a new range right here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull another fib. Point of control, value area low. So these are not really aligning with each other, obviously. But these are some key levels to keep in mind, right? Let's go ahead and pull this back. So if price was to fail, let's go ahead and take off that extend right? So if price was to go ahead and fail this level, this support level here, there's nothing stopping me from believing that price would essentially come back down to, let's just go ahead and pull the range for this range right here, right? Because essentially this is obviously a range as well, as so was this. And now we are range bound one more time. All right, so those are the three key levels at the moment. If price was to fail this low, we can expect a reaction off the value area high of this range. There's a lot of volume up here, as you can see when looking at the fixed range volume profile. You can see a ton of liquidity being built at the top of this range, right? So this will be a very, very strong support zone, right? Just this area right here, very strong support zone. And if that fails, you would get a bigger drop. Most likely we'll get a bigger drop to the value area low of this range. And then just like what I said would happen if it comes in this range, the same thing would play out into this range. So if this level was to fail, right, then we would most likely get accepted back into these levels, start chopping around a bit, and that's just how price action goes. But to be honest, this is a very strong project, a lot of powerful people, great minds behind it, and I don't really see this project selling off too much, but you never know with new launches. If it does sell off a lot, I think that would just be a great buying opportunity in the long run. But seeing at the timing of this launch with the halving right around the corner, I would actually expect for this price to kind of maintain this range and just start moving up. But we don't know, so that's why we use risk management, and that's why we just trade level to level, right? It's the safest way to trade. And with that being said, we just map out our levels, and then we react to the price at those levels. So right now, like I said, we are currently at the 382 resistance. If we could reclaim that, we have the point of control and golden pocket to challenge next. If we could go ahead and reclaim those levels. Yes, we do have the 786 in the value area high, but we could end up just moving up higher and higher and possibly taking the liquidity of the highs up here before maybe a slight reaction and rejection before moving a little bit lower. But as for this project, I mean, it does look very bullish, just bullish price action. Does not show me too many signs of a reversal, right? This market structure is leaning bullish. It's been bullish since it broke out of this parallel channel. It's just been making higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and technically a higher low too as well. Obviously this was a low, but we're going to see if this is going to be a market structure change. If we do get a market structure change and price just comes up, hits the golden pocket, and then moves a little bit lower, then now we can start looking at lower targets, right? This is now going to be a lower high confirmed and also a confirmed market structure change. So at this moment, it's almost confirmed, not fully. It's obviously confirmed on the shorter time frames, but price can easily just move back up, take these highs, forming a higher high before continuing higher. So as for MANTA, right now, price is looking pretty bullish. I expect it to continue to the upside, at least try to reclaim this value area low, right? Let's go ahead and hide some of these just so it's a little bit more clear. And I'll keep that on there. I'll keep that on there too as well. I'll keep everything else on there. So yeah, as for now, we want to see if price will reclaim this value area low. If we start reclaiming it, then we can expect price to go up and challenge the point of control. If we do get above the point of control and golden pocket, then like I said before, we can then aim for the value area high, all right? And then whatever happens after that will happen. And from the current price, it looks like price has even gone up since we've started this. But from the current price, if you're targeting the value area high, that's about a 9.99, pretty much 10% gain. So that's pretty much it with MANTA. We're just going to keep it very simple. We are currently range bound. It does become a lot more bearish if we pretty much fall below Yeah. I think if we fall below this low right here, it's time to become a lot more cautious. But if we really do get in this range around here, if we get below this box, that's when we will start looking a lot bearish, and then we can aim to value area lows below. But there are some key areas where we could get a bounce. You could get a bounce after sweeping this level, reclaiming, swing failure pattern. We could get a bounce in this box before reclaiming this level again. So there's a couple key areas to look for as support. But as of right now, if you are looking to enter along in the short term, I'd really wait for price to at least come down to retest these levels here, because right now you are at resistance. You do not want to long when price is at resistance. What you can do is either wait for price to break above, retest this value area low as support, enter a long, stop loss about 1 to 2% away, and aim for higher prices. And if you're targeting the point of control from the value area low, that's still a solid 3% gain on this trade. If you're a little bit more patient and price does come back down and you trade from these lows back up to the value area low, you're talking a 6% gain. And if that same exact trade was to play out and bring you all the way up to the value area high, you're talking 16%, or to the range highs, you're talking 20%. So this is really just a patience game. Right now, I do not recommend entering a long. Obviously, this is not financial advice, just giving you my thoughts. But there are only a few areas where I would feel more comfortable entering a long position. And like I said before, that is after a reclaim of the value area low or a sweep off the current range lows, which is right here, taking up the liquidity, reclaiming this level and entering the long there and aiming for the upside. So what you can do as well is go ahead and pull a parallel channel. So let me go ahead and get rid of these right here. All right. So just to make things a little bit more clear before we end this video, go ahead and pull your parallel channel, see where price lines up. Looks like the 50% halfway mark is right there on the point of control. More confluence. You can pull your fibs just like that. More confluence. It's always best to pull from the highs. Sometimes you can pull right from the edge before price actually breaks down, but I just like to go from the highs. It's still a zone at the end of the day, so very important level to keep an eye on. So yeah, I'm currently not long on MANTA, but if price does come back down to these levels, I would be definitely interested in looking for a long. So let me go ahead and set up a alert just in case. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for joining. Follow me on X. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. I post on X pretty frequently. There was a great post I posted not too long ago about Bitcoin. And yeah, there was just major confluence with the resistance. So I did post that here. As you can see, we're at the value area high, massive diagonal trend line. This is a huge one, which I'll show you in a second. Another trend line resistance. So you had 1, 2, 3 resistance levels all acting as one, right? 1, 2, 3, just like that. Pointed it out. And then what did Bitcoin do not too long after? It got rejected, right? So I can actually go to that chart really quick. I forgot exactly which one it was on. Let's go ahead and take a look here. There we go. So since I charted that out, the price of Bitcoin has fallen about 2%. And you know what that means? The rest of the market could pick basically any altcoin. Falls way more, right? Sometimes. I don't think it was right there though. Let's see. This was on the 24th, 10 o'clock. I don't think that was it. think that was from here. No, yeah, that was it, actually. 24th, 10 o'clock. See, if we go back down to DOT, that same 2% drop on Bitcoin was about a 7.5% drop for Polkadot. And look at that, actually. This Polkadot is at a beautiful level. Weekly level here came down, obviously support. And it is looking quite interesting, actually, for a long. Sometimes that's why it's good to just map out random projects, because you never know. And that's about a 1.5% stop loss that you could place. You could even place it below this one, 2% away, right about the max risk I would like to put on any trade. It's also a very nice trade to enter, in my opinion. And with this one, you could always target the monthly above. So this is a little Polkadot and MANTA chart video at the moment, but that's okay. And yeah, you know, just mark out your levels. And this weekly will definitely be the most important level to keep an eye on the upside. All right, price almost tapped it, didn't quite get there, so that's definitely the next target for DOT. All right, which would be about 7% away. You also have these highs right here, which is a swing failure pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and put a alert on that as well, because this is one of the trades I do like to take, which would be coming up through the previous high, tapping the weekly, back testing the swing failure, the previous high, back testing the previous high before entering a trade, and basically aiming for the downside here, right? Stop loss right above the high, targeting the lows. That's about 7% away. So that could be a very interesting trade. I'm going to go ahead and set an alert down here too as well, just in case price does come back down. That is the area that I would like to enter into a long, right before, right underneath all those closes. Like you see all these wicks, that'll be a great area to enter a long. All right, well, once again, thank you for joining. Like and subscribe, follow me on X, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Take care.